Alright, welcome back to another tutorial for the Ka50, this time for the cold start as promised. And like I've said in a previous video, it's not as difficult or complex as you might think. There's a lot of switches, there's a lot of buttons, but if you find your own flow, it's pretty fast. It's less than 3 minutes usually. You may need to practice it a few times, and I'll just do a cold start first to see how to teach you how I do it, and then I'll go over to a little bit slower. So we're in a Russian Ka50 on the Syrian map. I just love this map, especially for well, both for airplanes and helicopters, but it's superb for helicopters. You got so much terrain to play with. But we'll get to that in another video. So for now, we'll just shut the doors first. And like I said, I'll just show you my way first without explaining anything. And then next time, or rather next startup, I'll go over it a little bit better.
Смотри экран. Смотри экран. Смотри экран. Смотри экран.
And this will take about 3 minutes. I won't do a whole lot of talking during this these 3 minutes. So just starting engine 1. What I started before was the EPU in order for me to be able to actually start my engines without ground electrical power, that is. So I'm using the aircraft's own power. And as you can see, we're spinning up the rotors. Once you do this, make sure you've got zero power, so zero throttle. There we go. So that's engine 1. Now I got a suggestion on YouTube that told me that there's a complete English cockpit, which I might try in the future. I wasn't aware of it actually. It should help me and lots of other people, I guess, with ACRN messages and some other things. I'll try it out. I'm not sure it's usable on every server online though, so it might not be viable for me. We'll see. So shutting down the power unit again. I usually start this this computer faster. I actually just forgot about now. We'll fix that in the next takeoff. So that's pretty much it for the cold start. Once this this test is done and the navigation system is online, we're ready to take off. And you can actually start this one way earlier, which means it's done by the time your engines are started. Right, so let's grab another aircraft and redo it a little bit slower. Okay then, back in the Shark. And let's just start by closing the doors again. So that's right control and C. Right control C. Now, like I told you before, everything about the cold start of the Ka50, in my opinion, is to find a good flow. One that suits you. It doesn't necessarily mean that's the way you do it in real life. I actually have no idea how it's done in real life. But this works for me, and DCS is a superb simulation. That does not, however, mean you have to do everything as it's done in real life or real operations. Find a way that works for you, find a way that's fun. I'm quite sure most of us, I'm not saying all, but most of us don't find it too much fun to do the checklist every time we take off, for example, especially not online. If we're supposed to do the checklist every time we take off in the F-14 Tomcat, for example, that's like a 20 or 30 minute startup. I'm quite sure that's not too much fun, on, especially not online. So find a flow that works for you in each and every module you decide to play or fly. So the Ka50 doors are shut. I'll try to zoom in enough for you to see her. The lighting isn't all great. So my way here is I start on the right side. My flow is from the right to the middle, and then I go forward. So basically that's this area completed. After that, I fix this stuff. There's not a whole lot there. And then I keep on the right side, move up the back panels for a few switches. Once that's done, I usually start the computer. And by setting all this, I have opened fuel valves to the engines, to the auxiliary power units, which means I can start the APU or auxiliary power unit here. So after I'm done with the right side, I move over to the left side, which is basically engine starting for the first steps. Rotor brake, power settings, fuel shutoffs. And once that's done, when the engines are started, you can shut off the APU fuel valve, and you can start the electrical systems. If you don't start the electrical systems or the generators, your targeting computer or targeting camera won't work. Your autopilot won't work, for example, and some other stuff. So let's get started. Left side, or right side rather, sorry. So batteries first, battery 1 and battery 2. Switches up, covers down. And then everything down here has got to do with basically radio and data link. Switches up. Big funny red and black stripes, that's for your ejection seat, important. Here, weapon systems. If you ever find yourself cold starting the Ka50 and you've remembered to put the master armor on, but you still can't fire, the switch, important. If you ever hot start your Ka50 and you find an annoying red beacon shining bright, that's the anti-collision light. Right, I never turn that on. It's just annoying. So once you're done with the ejection seat and the weapon system, you head over to the standby SAI, nav system, IFF, then APU fuel, and you can leave the cover up because you can close it later. Left and right fuel shutoffs. fuel quantity, forward and aft fuel tanks. If you have external tanks on your pylons, you need these as well. So that's almost done. So fire system up here. So that's the cover, and right click to move it up. Alright, so the first panel on the right side is done. Let's move back. I usually start here with some lighting. Doesn't help all that much, but it can be good. These down here are more lighting panels. You don't see this very much now, but it's for night vision. You get blade lights and some other navigation lights. These two here, EEG, left and right, are extremely important. I don't know how many times I crashed in the beginning in Ka50 when I forgot these. Basically, you can fly the chopper, you can start it, you can fly away, and you can fly for maybe 10 minutes, and then you start losing power. All because you forgot these. So don't forget these. Move further back. Just a lightning switch. Ecran control. This is for your countermeasure system. So if your countermeasure system does not light up here, it's because you forgot these two. And some navigation stuff. Okay, so right side is done. Now let's go over to the left side. So press escape, adjust controls, and in my case the standard keys here for throttle up and throttle down are page up and page down. You just need throttle up, and you'll throttle up both engines at the same time. So make sure you have throttle up, idle, medium, auto, full. Set your key. Default is page up. And you can't do this with a mouse, so it's always page up. 1, 2, 3. So 3 times. After that, down here, very hidden in this lighting, is the rotor brake. So one press with the left mouse key, or mouse button, and then your fuel shut off to the engines, and the later will start talking. And you can turn off the main warning there. Now everything is ready to start, and default here is turbo gear switch in the middle, APU set. So if and press and hold the start key or start button for a second or two, and then look left. You'll see the APU start turning, or APU meter, that is. Alright, so that's the APU on, and let's turn on the computer I was talking about. It can run its test and stuff like that. Alright, let's start engine 1. So you see this switch here? One press, left mouse button, left. And the same thing here, a second or two holding start. And look to the right. You see the meter start turning, and we can check the rotor blade as well. There we go. Rotor blades, that is. Alright, once the first engine reaches 6, I will start the right one. You don't have to start at 6, you can wait till it's completely done or whatever. You shouldn't start too early though. And left click, right engine, start, and check right. And it jumps up. You see engine number 2 indicated by the 2 in the meter. And there's a small 1 in the first meter. Alright, so that's the computer done. And like I said before, again, this is my way of starting the Ka50. Find your flow if you want to use my flow, or similar to my flow, that's superb. If my flow doesn't work for you, find another one. One that works for you, one that's easy to remember, easy to use, and fast to use. Right, so engine 1 and engine 2 started. We can now turn off the APU, so APU shut off. And it's going down. And I usually just reset this to the middle. And once the APU is shut off, check your right again, your fuel shutoffs. Shut off the fuel for the APU, don't need that. And this down. So basically, the chopper is started up now, but we still need the electrical systems. We need the computer, we need the autopilot, and so on. And in order to use that, we turn on the generators, left and right. Right, so generators turn on, and back to the left side. See this here? Lower left switch, that's targeting computer, targeting navigation system actually. Turning that on, get the Schwall turned on, the TV screen or TV targeting. If your TV does not turn on when you change this switch, it's because you forgot your generators, alright? So don't forget your generators. Alright, back to right. We're done on the left side, pretty much. So on the right side, navigation system, operational, that's right clicking. Data link, operational, and COM, that's commander. If you're team flying, squadron for example, the first flight lead, or the flight lead rather, would be commander. ID number 1. The rest of the wingman, 2, 3, and 4, would choose wingman, and either 2, 3, or 4. That will help identify you on the targeting computer, among other things, or the navigation system rather. And I'm just way off here. There we go, back to map, and zoom in. Alright, so that's done. Autopilot, pitch hold, bank hold, and heading hold. Those are the common things to fly with when you're flying with the autopilot of the Ka50. Altitude hold is automatically turned on when you auto hover, as explained in the previous video. Okay, just forgot to show you two things actually. One that I forgot during the second startup. That's just the attitude indicator. Remember to just activate it, make it level. So this knob here, mouse wheel down, you get rid of the flag and you can set it to desired level. And on the top panel you get some more stuff. We won't go into everything, just like we won't go into all the other stuff down here or the targeting computer so far. But got engine, anti-dust, or anti-ice, depending on where and how you fly. So like I said, I'm mostly on the Syrian map right now. So it's anti-dust for me. And you also get rotor anti-ice, for example. Pitot heat if you're flying in cold environments. So hopefully this will help you some to find a flow. Let me know if the tutorial was too quick or not clear enough. Hopefully it'll help you. Otherwise I'll make another one slower, explaining a little bit more. Alright, thanks for watching.